Dr. Dan the Bandage Man, written by Helen Gaspard, pictures by Corinne Malvern, copyright 1950. Dan is a busy fellow. He is always on the go, but one day in a backyard cowboy fight, he fell and scratched his finger on his make-believe gun. And what do you think the big cowboy did? He cried. Boo-hoo-hoo, Dan cried, and he ran in the house to his mother. Now his mother was always glad to see Dan, but a cowboy crying, how could that be? Why, that's nothing to cry over, Mother said, when she saw the big, bright red spot. We'll wash it clean with soap and water, bandage it up, and it'll be better than new. And quick as a wink, it was. Back went Dan to the cowboy fight, and all the boys gathered around to see his new, clean bandage, too. Next day, Dan hitched up Spotty, his pup, to take his sister Carly's doll for a ride. But Spotty saw a cat he wanted to chase, and he forgot all about that doll. Lickety-split, Spotty started off. The wagon tipped over, the doll tumbled out, and Carly started to cry. My baby hurt herself because the doll had a bump on her head. This is nothing to cry over, said Brother Dan. I know just what to do. So he led Spotty and Carly into the house, and he carried the hurt little doll himself, with a rather big bump on her head. We'll wash it clean, said Dan, and he did. We'll bandage it up, and he did that too. Dan opened the wrapper, he picked the bandage out, and he held the two stiff pieces, and zip, the bandage was on the doll's head. There, smiled Dan, she's better than new. Now, said Carly, I want one too. Are you hurt? Asked Dan. I don't know, Carly said, looking for a scratch, and sure enough, she found one. It was a very tiny scratch and rather old, but it was a scratch just the same. Dan washed it clean and bandaged it up. Thank you, said Carly. It's better than new. Woof, said Spotty, and held up his paw. Dan laughed. I guess you must want a bandage too. So he put one on Spotty's paw. Next day, Daddy was home from work. He went out to mow the lawn, and what do you think? He cut his finger on a slippery, sharp lawnmower blade. Let me fix you up, Dad, said Dan. I know what to do. We'll wash your finger clean and bandage it up, and it will be better than new. Dad looked surprised, but he followed Dan, and soon Dan wore a bandage too. You're a handy fellow to have around, said Dad, and he shook Dan's hand. I have a new name for you. We'll call you Dr. Dan, the Bandage Man. And so they do to this day, so we will too. The end. Thank you for reading Dr. Dan, the Bandage Man with Dr. Fitch and Evie. Have a great day.